Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, oh, oh.
Merry Boxing Day. This is going to be out on Boxing Day. You hear that? Santa.
Welcome back to the Wouldn't You Like to Know podcast. I'm Cat.
And I'm Asha.
And today we are going to be talking about some Am I the Asshole Christmas stories.
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah, we thought we'd kind of switch it up from our regular program of our regular style. We'll be back to it next week, but for the Christmas season, we thought it'd be fun to do a Christmas episode. And so we thought, we both love Am I the Asshole Reddit, so I've picked a couple out to read for you.
I'm super excited to listen to this.
Yeah. But first, I wanted to talk about traditions, because one of my favorite things about Christmas is family traditions.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wanted to hear what your family traditions are.
I think our Christmas is pretty generic. We just spend time with family and like hang out. But I was asking my mom about some Christmas traditions that we, I guess, did as a kid, and the only thing that she could really think of was that we would always watch Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. Like, we'd switch out every year, kind of watching one movie or the other. I think like leading up to Christmas, probably in like November, we would watch a couple of the movies, and then we'd be finishing the series
On Christmas.
Yeah, around then.
Ooh.
But also, when we were younger, Christmas time was the time when the Harry Potter movies were being released into theaters.
Oh.
Yeah, in December was usually the time that the movies were coming out.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so that's kind of what we did. It was like, that's
Go
why
to the movies.
Yeah, that's why I correlate Harry Potter with Christmas now. It's just because that's kind of when it comes out. Plus, the first one is pretty Christmassy.
I think they're pretty Christmassy.
Yeah, the first one like has a full-on Christmas tree. It's when Ron gives Harry the invisibility cloak, and Ron gets his little R sweater. You know, the knitted one.
I don't think Ron gave Harry Potter the invisibility.
Well, he handed it to him.
Yeah.
Someone, who was it? It was Dumbledore gave it to him.
Was it Dumbledore? I thought it was passed down to him.
I looked
From
it
his
up. And it
dad.
said Dumbledore on
Oh.
there. Yeah.
Oh, you looked it up.
I did.
Oh, you researched.
Yes, I'm a nerd. But no, nothing out of the ordinary we would do. I don't think we have any crazy traditions. I'm interested to hear what your traditions are, though.
I feel like I live in a very type A household.
Okay.
I think every single one of us is type A. It's very relaxing in our home.
No stress.
Zero stress. So I think we did like follow a pretty tight schedule.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had every Christmas morning, it was my parents were the ones to usually do Christmas for the family, and we'd sub off either going to Kelowna or Big White one year, and then the next year we'd be down in like Vancouver with our family or my dad's side of the family. But yeah, we'd wake up. I was not allowed to go downstairs, but I was allowed to leave my room but not go downstairs until 8:30.
Whoa.
Yeah. I had to just play in my room, and the way that our house used to be set up, you couldn't see the tree or the living room really that well from the upstairs like foyer, I guess, or upstairs like kind of overhang.
Yes.
So I would always try to like creep down the stairs as much as I could to try to see if I could see if there was presents under the tree and if Santa had come. And then yeah, at 8:30 I was allowed to go and wake up my parents, but I still was not allowed to go in. I was allowed to go past the living room, but I wasn't allowed to go into the living room. And then after everybody got their coffees, like my parents got their coffees, then we could sit down, and then we were allowed to do stockings.
Yes.
And we've always done stockings where I was always Santa's helper. So I always put on the Santa hat and I gave everybody their stockings. And then we'd go in a circle. We'd all sit on the ground or the couches, and we'd go in a circle, and everybody got to open up one present at a time. And we all had to watch everybody open up every single present.
Oh my gosh.
And I can't even believe that families don't watch everybody open up each other's presents. Like, I just think that's like half the fun is seeing what everybody else got.
Yeah. Well, I think we did that as well. Our family's a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
So we would just
by one person.
by one person. But yeah, we would just do like, oh, this present is from my brother and I, from my dad, or this present is from my mom to me. Like we would go back and forth. So there was always one person opening a present.
But even for stockings?
Stockings we would open before, like everyone made breakfast before everyone had coffee. We could
Oh, yeah.
open that in the morning.
Oh, yeah. See, we had to wait for coffee. Then we opened up stockings and we all watched. And then we finished the stockings. And then we all warmed up our cinnamon buns. And they used to be from IKEA. When IKEA used to have good cinnamon buns, now they're kind of trash. Sorry. We get them from Cinnabon, or more recently, because I'm gluten-free. Bummer. We get them from, or I get them from Delish Bakery, which is a gluten-free bakery. So we have our cinnamon buns, and then after everybody's like chilled and had their cinnamon buns and like the kitchen's kind of tidied up from there, usually my mom would start the turkey, I think, if I'm correct. And then we'd all go back and sit down in the living room, and I would pass out everybody's presents. So it used to be in past years, I would be like, oh, okay, it's Mark's turn. I'm going to go grab Mark's present and deliver it to him. And it would be from anybody. Like, it doesn't matter who. Sometimes somebody would be like, oh, like, give him my present, whatever. And then in recent years, it's just been, I will go and find everybody's presents and I will make them a little pile next to them. So then we can all sit down and then we all go one by one and open up the presents.
Yeah, with my boyfriend's family, when we go over there to do Christmas and open presents, it's very similar to what you guys did.
Mm-hmm.
Or still do.
Yeah, it's very routine, I'd say.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah, it is. I liked it as a kid. I feel like it was pretty organized and everybody could kind of stay in line. Like it didn't get too crazy. And then it kind of also gives time for the adults to do what they need to do. Like have their coffee, have their breakfast, have their, like get the turkey on and that type of stuff. And then usually by the time we were finishing up presents, then my aunts and uncles would start showing up. And so then we'd all kind of like go get ready for the like afternoon and the evening. And then we'd all just like hang out, help make dinner, and then, yeah, have dinner. And then after dinner, we'd do the presents from like extended family if there was any, or if we had like a secret Santa thing with the family, the extended family.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds really fun. What's one of the best gifts that you've ever gotten for Christmas?
Ooh, that's hard. I think probably I got a snowboard and snowboard boots in big white.
Oh, yeah.
One year from my parents, and that was amazing.
That's a pretty useful gift, especially if you're on the mountain.
Well, it was so cool because then I got to use it right away.
That's so fun.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then I remember every year I'd ask for a dog, like literally every year I was a kid. And one year they got me a robot dog.
Oh my God. Those ones that would dance with their music.
Yeah.
Those were awesome.
No. Would it? Yeah, it was like, it like looked like a proper robot though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like kind of white.
It was silver.
Silver and white. Yeah. And it would like glow. Did it like light up?
No, I don't know. Maybe. It's like ears would flap up and it'd walk a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. And I remember being like, you're not off the hook. I still want
a dog.
I still want a dog. Am yet to get the dog.
My favorite gift was, I was probably like 6 or 7. I really wanted a bell off of Rudolph's sleigh.
That's so cute.
Santa's sleigh.
That is the cutest thing to want.
And I remember waking up in the morning and like we went through all the presents and I was like, darn, like I haven't got my Santa present yet. And then at the very back of the tree was this tiny little box. And my mom was like, oh, Asha, looks like there's a present left for you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness. And it was a box I've never seen before. It was wrapping paper I'd never seen before.
Oh my God.
And it had a
so
little
fun.
like string and a little note and it said, to Asha, love Santa, or something like that. Writing I've never seen before. And I was like, holy crap. So I opened it up and inside the box was a little like strip of fabric and it had a big bell on it.
That is so cute.
And it was like the best thing ever. I was like, holy crap. He listened to me. Because I don't even think I wrote letters to Santa or wrote a letter asking him. I think it was a mall Santa thing that I did. You know, like, what do you want for Christmas?
But your mom listened, or Santa listened.
Yeah, Santa. But that was like the best gift ever. It was really sweet.
How old do you think you were?
I was like 6 or 7. Or, yeah.
That's really cute.
Yeah, it was so sweet. I think my mom still has it. She like puts it on the tree
Really?
sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I like had any like little kind of gifts that were cute like that. I mean, I got a laptop. One year all of my siblings got laptops, and that was insane in
Whoa,
our family.
that is
Like
insane.
insane. Because of course like they wanted, my sister so much older and my brother so much older, they like wanted to get laptops for university and like high school, but of course I'm young, and I'm going to feel left out, so they got one for me too. And they weren't like crazy nice laptops. Like they were like Toshibas and stuff like that.
That's
like
still so nice.
so
good.
nice.
Yeah.
And I just remember I was like, Sims, please download Sims right away. You will not be seeing me for the rest of the day.
So good. I always loved getting video games for Christmas. Like my brother and I would like get little Xbox games for Christmas. And I remember the best one we got was Lego Star Wars and Lego Harry Potter.
Oh my goodness.
We were just like, you wouldn't see us for the next few weeks. We were just playing it together in the basement.
It's a perfect thing to get over the holiday break too, because then you can kind of like binge it and just like have tons of fun. And then you're probably burnt yourself out by the time school starts, so you're good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So playing those games now as an adult, because we just re-downloaded, or we did. I guess we didn't re-download. We got Lego Star Wars on the Nintendo Switch, my boyfriend and I, and we were playing it together because it's a 2-person game. So nostalgic. It's just such a Christmas vibe. So I love nostalgia during the holidays. That's my favorite part.
Oh, okay. So I was watching Inside Out too.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, this doesn't spoil anything at all. So in Inside Out 2, one of the things is they have like a new person called Nostalgia.
A new emotion.
New emotion. Yeah, called Nostalgia. And I kept on just thinking, Ash's nostalgia emotion is working overtime
It's
up
crazy.
there.
Yeah.
Loves to be in control.
Yeah, I love being nostalgic. I love looking at old photos and stuff, putting myself in that place in that time. So yeah, like the holidays are so nostalgic because of the smells of the
Oh my
taste.
God.
Oh my gosh. I guess a tradition was that every year when we had Christmas, I would either go to my Nana and Papa's house or people would come to our house for dinner. And my aunt would bring root beer cookies.
Ooh.
Have you ever had
I've
root beer
never had a
cookies?
root beer cookie.
Oh my goodness. And I only ever have them at Christmas. So it's just like, it would be something I would look forward to every year.
Of course. That
my
sounds
gosh.
so freaking
And they were
good.
like so specifically, like they look so specific. They had the fork indent on them. That's how you knew they were root beer cookies.
Kind of like
Peanut butter
cookies.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not that's not only the root beer cookies though.
Oh, I don't like peanut butter cookies. I like root beer cookies.
You're crazy for not liking peanut butter cookies. You like peanut butter.
I like peanut butter. It's too much peanut butter, I think, in a cookie.
Too
Sweet for me.
Fair enough. Okay, so now we're gonna get into our Christmas Am I the Asshole stories. So you're not allowed to screen peek.
I won't. I'll just sit here.
All right. Am I the asshole for suggesting we lock up the Christmas presents after what my niece did last year?
Ooh.
Dun dun dun. Every year, my siblings and I, alongside our families, spend Christmas with our parents. We stay at their house for a few days. Everyone opens gifts together. It's hectic, but a lot of fun. The kids enjoy having one big sleepover with their cousins. My mom likes having everyone home again. We all pitch in. It's a win-win. Last year, my brother married Sally. She has a 7-year-old daughter named Mindy. This was their first Christmas with us. It seemed like they were having a fun time. Christmas Eve, all the kids went to the finished basement to sleep. We told the kids to not open up the gifts without us and to wake us up when they did. This was repeated several times. Once the kids were asleep, we put all the gifts under the tree and eventually went to bed ourselves. The next morning, around 6 a.m., I wake up early and head downstairs. I find the living room a mess. Half the gifts are unwrapped. Several of them have been ripped from their boxes. There was Mindy, playing with some of the toys. Most of the ones weren't even hers. She knows how to read, and they were all labeled, so she knew this. I was in shock. I went and got my brother, Sally, and the rest of the adults. Sally was super embarrassed. My mom was very upset. The other kids weren't up yet, so we tried to salvage what we could while Sally talked to Mindy. Not everything could be fixed, and she had broken a couple of the toys completely. The broken ones weren't even her own toys. Luckily, not everything was damaged, and even the boxes that were, the kids didn't notice. But my nephew, my sister's son, had one of his biggest gifts destroyed, and he was sad when everyone else got theirs, and he was told he'd have to wait for a new one to come back in. Sally and my brother reimbursed everyone. Mindy didn't get to open gifts with everyone, but joined the festivities later. She apologized, but kept making excuses. She said she didn't want to wait, and she wanted to see what everyone else got. We're all preparing to go to my parents' again this year. I put in the group chat that we should lock the door to the living room this year, or put a gate around the tree so no one can get in. I didn't even name names. I just specifically said, no one. Sally and my brother got mad, accusing me of treating Mindy like a baby or an animal. I said, I'm not. This is just a precaution so none of the kids are tempted. And they said this isn't necessary. I'm holding a mistake over Mindy's head. I said, no, I'm not. I'm trying to make sure that we have no repeat. Because I know that it'll be asked, Mindy does not have autism or ADHD, and even if she did, my daughter has ADHD, and both my sister's kids are on the spectrum. They knew better. I don't think Mindy was malicious. She was only 6, but I do think precautions should be made. My parents agree with me, and my brother is mad that I put it in their heads. Am I the asshole?
No.
No.
Not the asshole for making precautions that are only going to set up and help the other kiddos for Christmas, not have a ruined Christmas.
You're being proactive.
Exactly. I think the way that Sally took it, and I guess the husband took it, was pretty negative. Obviously, the reason that this woman is setting up these boundaries and being proactive about not having it be ruined is because of Mindy. But she was respectful to not name names. And she was just like, okay, this year it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to do things a little bit differently as to not have any sad kids.
Yep.
Totally fine. I think it's totally fine that she
is offering solutions.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What would you do in that situation? Like if you were the mom that like woke up the next morning and realized that Mindy was like going through all the presents.
So I'm in the sister's point of view. I would hope I'd handle it as well as she did, which is just get the parents. And it seems like Sally, the mother, actually did handle it pretty well. Like said, you know, you're not going to get to open presents with everybody else. Like, you know, you did something wrong. So you're going to kind of like have some time to just chill out by yourself.
Exactly.
I think that was fair. I mean, the OP is saying that, you know, she doesn't think that Mindy understands fully what she did wrong, but I also think kids don't necessarily understand right away. They really need a sec.
Yeah.
Like she did something wrong. She's gonna make excuses. She's 6. It might take a couple more conversations for her to kind of get it. And even so, I do think she's 6. She's never been there before. She knew better, but like kids mess up. They get too excited. They get too tempted. It happens. I don't think that Mindy is the worst kid ever. No. And I don't think it necessarily means she's going to do it again this year.
Yeah. I think kids like to push boundaries and see what they can get away with.
Totally.
And then once, you know, they're scolded for it, for doing something wrong, normally they don't re-offend.
Yeah.
Especially it's a year later. I'm assuming she's probably grown up just a smidge.
Well, yeah. I mean, 6 to 7, that makes a big difference for a lot of people. Do you want to hear the top comment?
Sure.
So your vote is
not the asshole.
The ranking is not the asshole.
Good.
The top comment is, I mean, why wouldn't you do this? It isn't even just about Mindy, although of course it's about Mindy. She ruined Christmas and broke a lot of other people's toys. But you have a bunch of small children who are notoriously bad with impulse control. Why not lock the door or put a gate around the tree? Any child could be tempted by sleeping parents and gorgeously wrapped presents under a lit tree. She's only 7. Also, if your kid acts like a baby, then they'll be treated like one. Come on, Sally. The girl opened half the presents, and you and your husband had to shell out to replace them, which also I think is good. Yeah. Just my own opinion, but that's awesome that they took accountability like that, and they were just like, we'll replace everything. And it's amazing that they got to rewrap them. Wouldn't you rather lock the room than risk having to put out and feel embarrassed all over again? Not the asshole.
Yeah.
And then it another person comments on this. They're setting up Mindy to fail. Absolutely not. The asshole OP. Remove the temptation.
Well, it's just like, I hate to relate kids to dogs, but it's just like my dog, she's going to go and try to open up a present because she loves chewing paper. I'm just not going to put the Christmas presents under the tree until Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm just going to remove that barrier, you know?
Be proactive.
Exactly.
She also OP has a couple other comments just for context. She says, how they punished her is their business. Given her reaction later, I do not feel she understood how serious it was, which is fine. She was 6. But then until we know she does understand, we should keep the gifts locked up, in my opinion. We wouldn't even have to say why to the kids. Just do it. And if they ask, just say, generally, we don't want to be tempted. And then she's replying to this one. She's just saying the same thing, kind of just giving more context. Mindy was spoken to about it, but had no real punishment outside. She didn't get to open presents with everyone else. I know she still did get all her gifts, and that's why I'm unsure if she'll do it again. I don't know if she'd do it again. Some of the kids thought it was funny, and while we had several discussions, I feel it's best to take preventative measures. My daughters are 8 and 5, and my nephews are 7 and 10. Okay, so they have a 5-year-old in the mix. They should just block the door.
Yeah.
Because I think it's one thing to be in your own home, and it's like your brothers and sisters. It's another thing to have all your cousins. Like, energy is so mischievous.
I totally agree.
So I feel like if it was me, I'd be like, oh, let's do it. Why not? Right?
Mm-hmm.
You just like get so excited about it. So are you ready for the next one?
Yes.
Am I the asshole for uninviting my oldest daughter to Christmas over Santa? I, 43 female, have children with very large age gaps. My daughter is 25 and has a 5-year-old son that I had with my high school ex. Then we separated and I married my husband much later. My younger 2 children are 9 and 7. My younger children believe in Santa while my daughter's son doesn't. She raised him not with the Santa magic, which is perfectly okay, but I'd rather not have it ruined for my children who do believe in Santa. I was having Christmas at my house, and I asked my daughter if she'd please talk to her son because I wouldn't like the magic ruined for them. I still put packages under the tree from Santa on them and leave out cookies and reindeer treats. My daughter told us she wouldn't make her son lie, and my children are old enough to understand if the son decides to say something. I told her if she wouldn't talk to her son, they could spend Christmas at their apartment. My daughter didn't like that and said I was choosing my younger children's happiness over hers and that I was being completely unreasonable. My husband supports me, but thinks that I might be being a little high-strung as our children are getting older. I just want to keep the Christmas magic alive. Am I the asshole?
Okay, no, not the asshole.
Not the asshole?
No.
How come?
Because she's trying to keep the Christmas alive for her kiddos.
But she's telling her daughter, who's older, but her daughter, that she can't come to Christmas then.
I think her daughter needs to just take a chill pill a little bit.
Yeah.
With how she's going about Christmas. Like, she's like, well, they're old enough to know all this kind of stuff. If my son says something, it's like, you know, it's not my responsibility.
Yeah.
I just come from the point of view where if your kids don't believe in Santa, let's not ruin it for everyone else who does.
Fair enough.
That's what I think personally.
So you would exclude family members just for
I wouldn't
Santa?
exclude, but I would give the option like, hey, this is what's happening in my house. If you're not cool with it, like, this is what's happening.
But it's not just that. It's like, then you can't come.
Okay, well then maybe I disagree with that part.
Yeah.
Of the like exiling.
Yeah. I think it's also, I mean, the daughter has made a decision for her. The daughter has made the decision for her child, who's 5 years old, not to include Santa in their life. And that's her decision. That's every parent's decision, whether or not they include it. But that kid is in kindergarten, probably, if not in kindergarten, is around other children. I'm sure talks about it. And there was always those kids in school that didn't believe in Santa.
Yeah.
And it's okay. You're allowed to believe different things. I think a 5-year-old isn't going to be able to convince a 9 and 7-year-old
Mm-hmm.
that Santa doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
End of story.
Yeah.
And if they do, okay, the kids are 9 and 7. Like their friends at school are already talking about it 100%. Like those are the ages that you're already kind of like, I don't know, logistics.
Right.
Or my friend's parents got caught sneaking the trees. Like it was the same wrapping paper that Santa used was found in the closet. Like it was their handwriting. Like you start kind of figuring it out as you get older. And I don't think personally that I definitely don't think the 5-year-old should be told to lie,
Mm-hmm.
because that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that a 5-year-old's opinion on whether or not the 5-year-old believes in Santa or not is gonna really impact the 7 and 9-year-old that bad.
Yeah.
But excluding your daughter and basically you're 100% choosing your children over, like your younger children over her.
Mm-hmm.
I think that kind of makes her the asshole,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you think not the asshole? Or do you think kind of everybody sucks?
Yeah.
Everybody sucks? Okay. You want to read the top comment?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Could you explain to your children that not everyone believes in Santa and that's okay? What happens if your kids have friends who are Jewish or Buddhist or parents that perhaps aren't able to provide the Santa experience? Does it really have to be that binary? I empathize with wanting to give your children the happiest holiday memories and feeling unhappy when the wrenches get thrown in those plans. But it seems like there should be a creative solution here, and they don't have to make other members of your family feel unwelcome. You're the asshole.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And then further comments that got upvotes are, you'd be surprised. Plenty of Christian parents get mad if Jewish kids don't also play along with the Santa lie. Source, my childhood. Edit to add, stop trying to explain to me that Santa isn't Christian. I'm not an idiot. Santa may not be Christian, but is also absolutely singularly associated with a holiday that is celebrated within the Christian tradition. Yes, some people have adopted a secular version of Christmas, but Santa isn't visiting Jewish homes on Hanukkah or dropping off presents for New Year's.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that is a point. There are a lot of religions in schools and different children and different friend groups. So, like, that's already well established within your child's minds.
Exactly.
They're going to be used to it. Yeah. All right. Okay, I didn't read this one yet, but I'm excited to.
Okay. Go. Mm-hmm.
Am I the asshole for buying my wife a Roomba for Christmas?
I'm excited to see how this goes.
Off the bat,
Yeah.
what do you think?
No.
No? Because you would want a Roomba?
Yes.
So that's my opinion too. I want a Roomba.
They're fun. They're kind of cool.
So helpful when you have pets. All right. This happened last year, but since it gets brought up during arguments every now and then, I just discovered this subreddit and decided to check what you guys think. Me and my wife have 2 children, 15 female and 11 male. My wife is a stay-at-home mom since the birth of our second child. I, 46 male, work full-time and earn a 6-figure salary. My job is highly stressful, requires me to travel a lot, and mostly sleep in hotels. I only get to come home to a family on every second weekend, on average. Despite working a lot, I am glad to do it so that my family can live a comfortable life. Last year, I decided to buy my wife a Roomba for Christmas. My wife tends to be the one who vacuums the house, so I presumed she would like this present as it would free her up from her chore. As she unpacked the present, she was heavily offended and did not hesitate to show it, which made the whole situation quite uncomfortable as my parents and other members of the family were also present. She argued that this should not be a present directed at her, but the whole family, as it is the entire family's responsibilities to clean up the house. Since I work and am the sole source of income in the family, and she is a stay-at-home mother, I think it is apparent that she should take on the responsibilities such as taking care of the kids and maintaining the house.
Okay.
Interesting. The gift was intended to somewhat relieve her of this burden. I personally would have loved to have received a Christmas gift that would somehow made it possible for me to spend less time working. As cheesy as it sounds, I think that the time is one of our most precious gifts, and that Roomba would have definitely bought some time for her. Time that she could use to do whatever she pleased instead of vacuuming. Unfortunately, 1 year later, this still often gets brought up during arguments, often coupled with her crying. So, am I the asshole?
Okay. Yes. For the frickin' way that he was like, well, I make all the money, so I would expect her to take care of the kids. I would expect her to do all the cleaning.
That's her
Sorry,
job.
are you not also a parent?
Yeah.
At first, I was like, oh, that's really sweet of him for thinking of her and being like, oh, I'm going to take some of the load off of her. At first, I was like, oh gosh, no, not the asshole. And it's like, if I bought my boyfriend like a pressure washer or something, because that's something I know that he likes to do and help his parents out. It not nowhere in that is the thinking of like, he's going to be doing all the cleaning and I'm doing all the money making, like all that kind of stuff. That wasn't the thought, but that's kind of where I thought like, oh, he's helping her out. But then when he said all that crap, I was like, yuck.
I feel like it's clear that there's a little bit of a inequality in this home.
A power dynamic, if you must.
If you may.
Yeah.
I know, totally. Because he's saying, I'm the sole provider, blah, blah, blah. She's the stay-at-home mom, so she should be cleaning the home and she should be taking care of the kids. Yes. I mean, when you're the stay-at-home mother, your job is to take care of the kids during the, I guess, work hours. And I guess to a degree, you do maintain the home. But there are only so many hours in the day.
Exactly.
And it also sounds like there's no other option than her being the stay-at-home mom. You travel and you're only home every second weekend.
That's crazy. And I bet he's coming home kicking off his shoes and hopping right on the armchair with a beer in his hand.
Yeah.
And not helping,
Definitely not vacuuming.
Definitely
he
not.
never does it. It says her sole job is vacuuming. Like, that's ridiculous.
That almost just sounds super demeaning. Her sole job, the one job that she does, the one job that she only does is vacuum. Like, it just sounds super like he's making her feel this big, like tiny. Yeah. I don't know.
I think it would be something else if she had asked for it.
Yeah.
But I do agree with her that in this specific situation, just because of the power dynamic is a little bit sketch already, that that it should be a family purchase.
I agree.
I mean, obviously it's only technically him making the money, but from their joint account, I think it should be purchased from their joint account. However they personally do their finances.
Yeah. I agree.
But
I mean, I'd be pretty stoked because I've always wanted a Roomba. I don't think it would do very well in our place. We have stairs, and I know that Roombas are known to like fall down the stairs and break.
Yeah, maybe I would want a Roomba. I would still want a Roomba.
Yeah,
I think. But I think as a Christmas gift, especially from your spouse, it's like a little like, well, you could be a little more romantic, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know if Jacob got me a Roomba, I would take it negatively. That's my opinion, but that's just it's a different situation. I think it would be kind of like, hell yeah, this is kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I guess maybe I should be thinking about it like how she's thinking about it. Like, is he telling me to clean more?
No, I don't think it necessarily needs to be taken in a bad way,
Yeah.
but I do think as a gift from your spouse, it's not the most thoughtful.
Okay.
Even though it seems like he's tried to be thoughtful with it. Yeah.
I think if it's from him to her, it's not as thoughtful, but if it's from him to the family, it's a little bit more of a different thing.
Yeah.
Like if he was like, he wrote it to or from Santa to family. Like, I think if he kind of made it like that, would be kind of a funny thing. Like, we're all going to be using this. Right?
This will be helpful for the household.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Versus this is my gift to you, sweetheart. Love you so much. Merry Christmas.
Love you. Please vacuum.
Yeah,
the ground is looking a little dirty.
Yeah. Thanks for doing all the Christmas shopping for all our kids and for me. That was so thoughtful.
Oh, love you,
and
babe.
she's like, the one thing she probably was so thoughtful with his gift, and the one thing she gets, she's like, cool. Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. I totally get it. Yeah.
Okay, so we have two edits. We have edit to add. I should also add that I would never have gifted my wife a vacuum cleaner or anything along those lines. I saw the Roomba as a robot that would fully take over the task, which is why I thought it would be a good idea. Edit number 2. I asked her numerous times before Christmas last year what she would have liked to receive, and she repeatedly told me that she does not want anything. I was left to guess and choose the most practical gift that I was certain that she would be able to make use of.
I'm sorry, get her a gift certificate to the frickin' spa.
Yeah, dude,
Sorry.
she probably needs it.
Maybe make her a cute little thing, like one certificate for a nice foot rub, or like go to the movies with your friends. I'll take the kids.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, well, you're really good at giving gifts, though.
Oh.
This guy doesn't seem like he knows what he's doing. I feel like it's harder than that, unfortunately, even though you just made it. You made it seem so easy. But I do think that it is getting gifts from your partner. You don't want to necessarily tell them what to get you. You want it to be very thought out.
You want them to already know what you want without you having to tell them.
Just unrealistic standards.
Exactly.
But I think, he tried and he failed. And I think if he had written it a bit differently, I'd be more on his side. But the way he wrote it, I was
he should have written, oh, it's a robot. It's going to take over all the, that kind of humor aspect of the fact that he picked a Roomba maybe would have made me feel a little bit like, oh, okay, maybe
I'm on your side
a little bit, but just
I'm the sole breadwinner and I make 6 figures and I'm only here every second weekend, but it's okay. I like to provide for my family. What family? You're never home.
Jeez Louise.
Just ridiculous. Okay, so top comment. You are the asshole. That's a gift for the household and not her. It shows you primarily regard her as a housekeeper and not a partner. What interest does she have that are not serving you and the family?
Yikes.
And then another one down is, you are the asshole. This is a rookie mistake. Husband thinks, wife will appreciate machine to make her work easier. Wife thinks, my husband sees me primarily as a housekeeper and not a romantic partner. If you want to relieve her of this one burden, that's a nice thought, but don't make it a Christmas gift. Yeah.
Agree. Big agree.
Make it a contribution to the welfare of the household. And what your wife meant when she said this should not be a present directed at her, but the whole family. I totally agree with that.
Yes.
Especially in this situation. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
That was a good one.
And then we also have, oh my God, we have a crazy comment. Not the asshole. No one ever complains when a woman buys a man a drill or a wrench set for fixing shit around the house. But she's an adult and these are adult gifts. It should definitely be coupled with something personal though, and it sounds like it was. She was being a child. My wife would overcome with joy if I eliminated the chore of floor cleaning from our household.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this comment is disagreeing with the fact that he's an asshole.
He thinks he's not the asshole.
He thinks that the wife is being overdramatic.
Yeah. Kind of saying along the lines of I do kind of agree with a drill and a wrench set for the house. I know that my dad has asked for that in the past, and actually it's on one of the Christmas lists this year for one of our family members is that type of stuff and yard stuff.
Yeah.
So I get it. That is similar, but then they are asking for household things and I'm not their partner. So as a partner, I wouldn't be getting it for them. So I think that's different.
Makes sense.
But I don't know. I think you have to know your wife better. End of story.
Clearly he doesn't spend enough time with her.
Clearly. Okay. Let's see. What time are we at? One more? Okay. I'm going to give you a choice.
Okay.
I haven't read any of these.
Okay.
I haven't read any of these. Okay. There's going to be 3.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for jumping out of a bathroom window to avoid my mom's attempt at forcing a reunion between me and my ex-fiance?
Okay.
Am I the asshole for getting up in my chair in the middle of Christmas dinner and shouting, "Shut the fuck up about my body," in response to my husband's observation?
Okay.
3rd, am I the asshole for how I fought my boyfriend's medical bill going too far?
I think we do the second one.
The second one? Okay.
That one sounds fun.
Am I the asshole for getting up in my chair in the middle of Christmas dinner and shouting, "Shut the fuck up about my body," in response to my husband's observation? So ever since I had my son months ago, My husband has started making indirect comments about my body. He never says any hurtful words, but I find his observations, as he calls it, hurtful. For example, he'd see me wearing an old top and say, "Oh, that top used to look good on you, but not anymore though." Or when he looks at my waist and says, "Wow, didn't know your waist could get this wide." Basically passive stuff that I tried to ignore till it extended to friends and family. FYI, this went on for months and months and months. We went to a Christmas celebration at his family's home. My sister-in-law complimented my floral maxi dress, and my husband said, "I agree, it looks nice on you, though I have to admit that your waist could get smaller than this." Awkward silence took over. I was completely and absolutely fuming, and this was my last straw. So I got up from my chair in the middle of dinner and shouted at the top of my lungs, "Shut the fuck up about my body." He was absolutely speechless as his family stared while others tried to get me to calm down. But the situation got more tense, and my dinner ended up being cut short and my husband storming off to his friend's place to spend the night, upon leaving a very nasty text saying I embarrassed him and made a scene over an observation he made. He called me childish and told me to get therapy for my insecurities since... oh my God, sorry, I'm shocked. He called me childish and told me to get therapy for my insecurities instead of verbally abusing him and scaring his family. Now I feel like an absolute idiot asshole, and I ruined Christmas for him and everybody with my oversensitivity. Am I the asshole?
No.
Oh
my God.
And the fact that she's being gaslit?
Yeah, and the fact that she thinks that she's being overzealous and oversensitive is for sure stemming from him.
And also the fact that she said, what does he say? He never says any hurtful words. I'm sorry. Those words strung together are hurtful. He's not calling you, I guess, the big box words that you're referring to, but is that his words that you're regurgitating right now?
Comments are gnarly.
They're
to say
horrible.
To anyone.
Horrible.
Jeez Louise.
Especially a new mom. Are you kidding me?
Run for the hills. He needs therapy.
You grew a child. You actually made life.
That's insane.
You do not need to be worried about your body. Of course, you want to be healthy and you want to be happy and comfortable in your own body, whatever that means for you. But you do not need to be worried about your body and getting it to snap back like everybody talks about, or making your waist smaller.
No.
Or it sounds like you're wearing the same things that you used to wear to a degree. Like you're wearing an old top or whatever. So it's not like you're insane.
He's giving her compliments and taking them back immediately. He said, or when her sister said,
"Yeah,
I really love that dress on you."
Sister-in-law.
I really love that dress on you. And he said, "I love it too. But, okay, so hand me flowers and then punch me in the face."
Why? Damn. Mic drop. No, seriously. It's such a... And why? That's the question I have, is why does he even need to say that? Why can't he just say, "Yeah, that looks really nice on you"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so upsetting.
Or, "I really like that top." Or, say nothing. Or, you know what? Giving him the benefit of the doubt. He thinks that he's being helpful in some backwards way, and he wants to help her get back to what he thinks is a healthy weight. Let's just benefit of the doubt there. Then there's so many amazing ways you can do that to support your partner, if that's it, which I'm not sure that's what he's doing here, but if that is what he's trying to do, is just trying to support his partner with getting healthy and happy again, there's so many ways you can do that, and it's none of these. You're actually making it so much worse.
Hey, you're actually an asshole.
An mega asshole.
I'm interested to see what the comments say.
Okay. And we're just, to be clear, the OP is not the asshole. The husband is the big time asshole. And I want to see What?
Yes, yeah. Because I said, yes, you are the asshole, but like the husband is the asshole, not
Yeah.
the wife.
Yeah.
She's not the asshole for standing up for herself. I'm sorry.
No.
I don't care if you
That's
say that
really
in front of your whole family and make them embarrassed. I don't give a crap.
yeah.
You need to stand up for yourself.
Yeah. She's worried that it ruined Christmas and scared his family or whatever. I mean, I doubt that if his family are good people, I doubt that they're going to be upset with you because everybody heard that comment. Your sister-in-law heard that comment. It's a rude comment. It's not a lightly rude comment either.
Yeah.
You're saying your waist could get smaller.
The only thing is, I kind of wish, because it said that he said that comment to her about her waist, about the dress, and then there was like awkward silence that followed.
Yeah.
So I kind of wish that the sister-in-law was like, hey, we don't say things like that about women's bodies, you know?
Yeah.
Let's support women, especially if men are being nasty to them.
Or his dad stepped in and was like, hey, you don't talk to your wife like that.
No, exactly.
That's a horrible thing to say to your wife.
Obviously, we weren't there and maybe she left some stuff out, but I would
Yeah.
hope that someone would stand up for her.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like he stormed off out of his own family home. And so she's just left to like kind of pick up the pieces. And she has a son. She has like a couple-month-old son. This is ridiculous. So the top comment is, I think the last thing your husband really wants for you is to get therapy. If you do, you'll discover that he's an emotionally abusive bully and stop feeling guilty for refusing to put up with his BS. Not the asshole, but your husband is. Do as he recommended and get therapy so that you can regain your self-confidence as he is eroded with his cruel observations. And then another person responds to that saying, yeah, this part to that. I think the last thing your husband really wants is for you to get therapy. He definitely wants her to feel crazy and overly sensitive. Let's see if she responded to anything. Oh, the account's been suspended.
The OP?
Yeah. So I can't see, but let's just look through. Okay, and then there's another one. Not the asshole. Divorce him. He's gaslighting you. His observations, as he calls them, are direct insults. He is actively body shaming you, likely on purpose, and fully aware of what he is doing. He wants you back as you were before and fails to realize that bodies change. He is abusing you mentally and verbally. You simply reached your breaking point and let it out. Don't start bottling it up again. Rebuke him every time he says something in front of everyone until he learns or leaves. Or in other words, he's shown his true colors.
Yeah.
Truly. Yeah. This is insane. Oh, yeah. And then they respond to that section where they say, wow, I didn't know your waist could get this wide. And, oh, that top used to look good on you, but not anymore. And somebody comments, not the asshole. This is not passive aggressive, and this is not an observation. This is degrading and abusive. He's gaslighting you. The fact the comment during Christmas dinner was met with awkward silence shows that people see he is being an asshole to you. He's embarrassed himself and started making the scene. You simply had enough of his bullshit and stood up for yourself. Good for you. You saved yourself and your child from this toxic relationship. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Okay. How are you feeling?
Wow. That's crazy.
I think big divorce babes.
Yeah, big divorce babes, run for the hill vibes.
Yeah.
And like I totally agree. Go to therapy to rid yourself of that feeling that you have being with him.
Yeah. Well, I think the way that she's writing it, that she is saying like, oh, he's not said anything bad and really that bad, and it's all passive.
She's trying to cover up for him.
It's just, you can tell she's been manipulated to this point so much, because anybody else who's not being manipulated can read those comments and be like, that is not passive, babes.
Yeah,
that's full blown.
Yeah, that's insane. Those stories were really good. Like, good job for finding those.
Thank you.
Crazy that there's so many Christmas, am I the asshole, like Christmas horror stories that happen.
I think just Christmas like brings it out of everybody. You put it in a pressure cooker.
Families,
with, like, yeah, like that scene from Bear.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you've got to watch it. There's a Christmas scene from Bear where it's like, it's actually, I had to watch it in 3 parts, like 3 separate sit downs, because it's so anxiety inducing.
Oh wow.
I like couldn't handle it. But it's basically like the mother is making Christmas dinner and she's drinking, kind of drunk, and she's trying to like keep it all like timing wise. And then there's like people fighting, and then dinner like actually gets started, and then people are screaming and they're not paying attention to her, and she's just being passive aggressive, and then everybody's just screaming at each other, and then next thing you know, like, I won't spoil it what happens, you gotta watch
That
it.
seems really chaotic.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's so intense. So I'm thankful that my family is pretty chill when it comes to Christmas for the most part, but I can't imagine being at one of these Christmas dinners.
Yeah. Well, that's insane. But yeah, we just wanted to wish y'all happy holidays.
And a happy new year, because happy Boxing Day.
Happy Boxing Day.
Happy New Year.
And
Have a happy New Year.
Yeah.
Stay safe out there.
This is our last episode before the end of the year. Oh. Well, we wanted to say thank you for everyone for listening.
Over a month of recording.
That's crazy.
Which is insane. So if you haven't already, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your brothers, tell your sisters.
Tell your dog.
Yeah.
Tell your cat.
Tell your mailman if they ever show up.
And the milkman.
Tell your hairdresser.
Tell the lady at the movie theater.
The dentist.
Tell your Uber driver.
Uvu driver.
Tell your Uber driver.
Tell the cashier at your local grocery store.
Tell the self-checkout machine.
They listen. They listen already, I think. But yeah, tell them again just in case. Yeah. Tell everyone.
Tell your vacuum cleaner and your Roomba.
Yes. Tell your Roomba.
To leave a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
And rate if you like it.
Yeah. If you like it, give it a little rate, and we will both give you separately at different times a kiss on the forehead.
I'm not going to do that.
I will give you a kiss on the forehead. Well, thank you for tuning in and unraveling Christmas. And hey, wouldn't you like to know what we're going to talk about in the new year?
I would.
I would.
And you should too.